Heading over to X to check out all the breaking news that's happening right now. As you saw in the intro of the video, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said crypto is not a threat to the dollar. Digital assets are one of the most important phenomena in the entire world right now. So as you know, the new administration is betting big, going all in on crypto. Very exciting for us that's been in the crypto. You are a genius if you are in crypto right now, because the future looks bright. And when it comes to the Fed decision today, Whale FUD did a great job of breaking it all down for us. The Fed does hold interest rates steady for the fourth consecutive meeting. This is why people are starting to get anxious, not understanding why they're holding interest rates at 20-year highs when the economy is doing well. Uncertainty remains, though the Fed notes it is moderated somewhat. 2025 GDP growth forecasts to cut to 1.4%, while inflation estimate rises to 3%. Median projections now indicate there will be a 50 basis points cut this year in 2025, but that's later in the year. Fed sees rates at 3.6 in 2026 and 3.4 in 2027 per their median forecast. Interest rate futures are now pricing in a higher odds for the rate cuts to happen in September, and the Fed's continued pause comes despite pressure from President Trump, who is calling for a 100 basis point cut, which would reduce it from 4.5% down to 3.5%. And very positive news for those in Ohio. Ohio bill would exempt taxes on Bitcoin payments under $200. It did officially pass their House of Representatives in their local market of Ohio. And in some massive news, Coinbase is going to allow USDC stablecoin to be used as collateral. So now you can be on Coinbase and get a loan against your USDC that you're currently holding on their platform. Is Coinbase heading towards becoming a bank in the United States? A lot of things are starting to line up for them that they are pushing for that. Not sure if they've applied for their license to become a bank yet. It is very difficult to become a bank in the United States, but Coinbase is definitely taking the steps towards trying to make that happen. Central Bank of China just said crypto is transforming cross-border payments and reshaping traditional systems. China is coming. We did talk about this the last couple of days as well. More and more nation states are getting behind Bitcoin, but now superpowers are really getting behind Bitcoin. And interesting timing here, Iranian crypto exchange Novatex, it was hacked for $48 million. There's been a lot of talk out there that Iran was going through a crazy, massive cyber attack. On top of that, their crypto exchange was hacked for $48 million. And I know the interest rates are very important for pumping liquidity into the markets, but there are some other signs showing liquidity is coming. US is about to print money like never seen before. Tighten your seatbelts, because US plans to ease capital rule limiting banks' treasury trades. US banks regulators plan to reduce enhanced supplementary leverage ratio, or ESLR, by up to 1.5% for the biggest lenders, which could lower their capital requirements. So if you're not familiar with this, when a bank wants to borrow money from the Federal Reserve, they have to have a certain amount of money in their actual bank reserves to borrow from the Federal Reserve. Well, now they don't have to hold as much. You can look at this as a very positive thing for liquidity coming into the markets, help pump the bags, but this is a very scary thing for the United States because of the fact that we already know that the fractional reserve system of banking has really hurt us in the United States with inflation. This is only going to continue to exacerbate that issue. For my XRP army out there, this was a very funny meme that Michael Paul posted today. It says, the year is 2045 and we're still waiting on Ripple lawsuit to be over. Judge Torres's great-granddaughter has taken over the case and will make a ruling in 25 years. And this is us waiting from our 20s until these ages to get this thing passed and get it out of the way so we can finally get our moon bags for XRP. And some positive news for XRP and Ripple. The company Ripple takes over Times Square and Grand Central Station with massive digital ads. The message is loud and clear. XRP is going mainstream. And we just talked about Coinbase trying to become a bank. There is a possibility that Ripple also tries to become a bank. So we'll continue to keep an eye and continue updating you on those scenarios as well. And as we talked about yesterday, it is official for those of you guys that are waiting for the XRP ETFs to launch in the US. We are going to have to continue to wait for that, unfortunately, because they kicked the can down the road for the Franklin Templeton one. But it is official now. XRP Spot ETF has launched in Toronto. So Canada is the first to approve a real spot XRP ETF. Jumping deeper into this Chinese central bank scenario, China has been looking to challenge the United States dollar's reserve status and wants to expand its digital yuan's reach to include domestic and international payments. China is creating an international operations center in Shanghai for the digital yuan, also known as the ECNY. Pan made the remarks at the Lujaizu Forum, a professional forum for high-profile local and international finance regulators and executives. At the meeting, they said the US dollar in particular may have become less appealing to investors in 2025, partly due to the unscripted rollout of tariffs by Donald Trump over the past few months. Despite the rising adoption of stablecoins, many countries continue to pursue CBDCs, which would be controlled by their own country. Hong Kong, a special administrative region of China, is advancing its stablecoin pilot program. In Europe, lawmakers across member states continue to push the digital euro, while the United Arab Emirates expects to roll out the digital dirham by the end of 2025. So the battle for dollar supremacy is under fire, as many other countries are trying to challenge us. But as you saw in the beginning of the video, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent believes that as we continue rolling out our stable coins here in the United States, backed by US treasuries, they will be the largest purchasers of US treasuries. The problem right now is nobody wants to buy treasuries, so stablecoins will be forced to buy those, taking them off of the ledger, and could ultimately save the United States dollar supremacy. Circle's USDC to become eligible for collateral for US futures trading. And more news for stablecoin. Circle's USDC to become eligible for collateral for US futures trading. Coinbase Derivatives expanding a partnership with clearinghouse Nodal Clear to bring Circle's USDC stablecoin into US futures markets as eligible collateral. The companies announced that they are going to accept USDC as collateral for margin futures trading, a move designed to encourage stablecoin adoption in regulated derivatives markets. This is expected to be the first regulated use case of USDC as collateral and will leverage Coinbase Custody Trust as the custodian. Why is there a big push behind USDC? Well, it is a fully reserved US dollar-backed stablecoin co-founded by Circle and Coinbase. As a regulated and widely adopted digital dollar, USDC enables near-instant transaction, has become foundational infrastructure across both centralized and decentralized financial platforms. In May, Nodal Clear started offering support for trading of select cryptocurrency future contracts on Coinbase Derivatives Exchange, CDE, including Bitcoin futures, BTI, Ether futures, ETI, and Nano Bitcoin futures, BIT, and Nano Ether futures, ET. Nodal Clear's chairman said that the plans to integrate USDC as collateral represent our continued commitment to seek to be responsive to market needs and innovative. We look forward to engaging with our clearing members and the CFTC in seeking to make this a reality.